Okay, guys, welcome to another live support desk. So today we have the amazing Alice with us. Hi, Alice.
Hello, David.
Hello, Alice. So Alice internet is a little bit kind of flaky, so if she's stopping, I might come in and pick up, but we're kind of working together today. So Alice is in the house and we have Dan with us today. We have Tim with us today as well. Nobody else has dropped in yet. So the first thing I always do is tell you about what goes on the live support desk. So it's a place for you not to ask technical questions, but just Zenler specific education questions, right? So we'll try and help you. We do have out of the box thinking, so we have a lot of solutions to things even within the platform itself and the limitations of some of the features in there. So we might better help you, but it's really important that you understand that we live stream this into the Facebook group, that it goes onto our YouTube channel, and that we might use clips for our socials. So if you don't want to be on any of those, you can keep your camera off and just have your voice on, or you can message it. You can message in the chat if you're in with us or on the Facebook group. But people that have their camera on, they will be answered first. People that have the voice on will be answered second, and then we will go to the chat, right? We've never had to go to the chat, by the way, because we've had so many people on asking questions. And there's only two people in today, which is kind of shocking, as normally get quite a few. So if we haven't got many people, we might end, or I might actually be able to do some of my tips. So that would be good. So I've got Tim putting cameras are disabled. Absolutely, they're disabled because I want to talk to you about these things without people popping up and unmiking themselves and stuff, right? So that's what's happening today. I need to just put the link here into the Facebook group so that people that are joining us on Facebook, welcome to all of you, can actually jump in as well, right? So you guys here have probably got reminders and you've probably got the reminder and that's why you've jumped in, right? So some people haven't signed up on the tutorials to get the reminders, so they can just jump in straight from the Facebook group. Okay, so I can see Sarah's on there. She said, can you see me and is my mic on? um no, it's our show and we haven't let anyone yet. Right, so no, I can't see you. I can't hear you and you're not in here, so use that link, jump in. Right, okay, let's kick off. So Alice is gonna be the host here today, and if she wants me to answer any questions, sorry, Ali, it's going to take me a while,
I
right?
know. It's okay. Allie or Alice is fine. That's
Alice, aka Ali, right?
fine.
Is if she wants me to help at all, I will. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let you guys turn the camera on. The usual thing that I do is hands up and then we answer, right? So ready? Some of you get your hands up before I've even started.
Yeah, hands
So
up, hands up.
right, okay. So we've got Roxanne in as well, and we've got Patricia in. Patricia's in, and Dan's in as well. Hi, Dan. It's good to see you. You are a regular here. Tim's got his hand up already. There you go. So, um, Alice, do you want to take it away and ask Tim to unmute?
Okay. And the microphones are unmutable by self. Do I have to unmute him or give him permission to
Yeah, so I
unmute
done it.
himself? There you go. Hi,
Tim.
Tim. How are
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
you?
I guess you can hear me okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Um, so yeah, the let's see. The question I have is to I mean, would it be okay? Just I can tell you a little bit my situation, and then I'll give you the question because maybe you have other insights, and that would be interesting too. So I run a
Okay.
small membership, and we do courses for 4 or 5 times a year, and and we struggle a little bit to bring new people on board. And a suggestion has been to give them a low threshold experience of what we do. We help people to keep habits, and so one of the things I'm working on doing at the moment is so we'll run an event over Christmas, which is called Best Year Ever, and it's about, reviewing the year and looking at the year ahead. And an idea we have is to use the community feature of Zenler to give them a low threshold way to come and explore a little bit without having to meet anybody or do anything dreadful, like actually see a
Yeah, yeah,
person or
yeah.
anything. uh, and so today I've been looking at the community, and so I don't really understand the public versus private aspect. And I also want to understand something that David said earlier, where I said, I think I need several communities. And David said, no, keep it simple. But I don't quite understand it that way. So I just want to sort of, maybe I don't know if I can share my screen and show you what we're working on, and then we can work through it, or what.
Okay. So, well, first of all, the difference between private community and public community is that they have to be subscribed to a private community to see it. Whereas the public, anything you have public, when they click on the community tab, they'll see whatever open public communities are available, but they will not be able to see, is that correct, David? They won't see the private communities? Or will it show the
Yeah,
private communities and then when they click on it, there's nothing there? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Like, so if someone's coming into a private community, into a public community, Tim, what they'll be able to do is they'll be able to see all the posts, and those posts get indexed by search engines, right? So they'll be able to see all the content in there. They'll be able to watch videos if you've done a live stream in there, if you've uploaded videos, all of that sort of stuff, right? Because it's public and it does get
yep.
indexed, which is the main thing. The main reason we want to use it is because of that, So you could, if you wanted to, use a public community and not let any members into it, you could lock it off and you could use it as a way to sort of get listed on the search engines under different things, right? Most people have communities, active communities in there, because what happens is people see it and they go, you know what, I want to be part of this, and they join. So if they join, you're capturing them, right? And that's a good thing, because all of it is like a lead generator. So then they
Right.
come into the public community and they can start chatting, and you can say, look, if you're interested in this stuff, look at my course, go and take my course, ask other people what they think of my course. So it's a really good way to sell things that you're doing and to also inform things. The downside of it, as Alice said, is you can see it all. So if you're trying to lock it away and make it kind of more of a safe place, then you might want to think about the private community, right? So a private community will show, but you won't be able to see what's inside it. So I haven't
Mm.
got one set up here, but what I can do is I can share my screen and sort of show you this. So if you look at this, this is our tutorial site. At the moment, we've locked it down to just have one community. It's a public community. I'm in here not as a logged in user, so I can see what's been going on, right? All this good stuff, all this activity going on. Now, if I had a private community set up, it would come down here. It would be underneath. Say we'll call it Zenler Private Community. You would, if you clicked it, all the content in there, it would say locked. You can't see it. So why would we do this? Well, that in itself can cause people to come into it, right? They'll be like, what's behind that curtain? How do I get into that? And then you could say in there you could say to people like, if you join a course, you can get access to come into that private community, right? So
It's like an
that's those,
added benefit. It's an
yeah,
added benefit. It's like that bonus content
yeah,
for paid subscribers. They get access to that community when it's private, and you use
yeah.
that community to posting that are of value, and adding to the value of the membership. And in in the public community, like David was saying, because it's indexed by Google, if you said you're having trouble growing the membership, if you create that private community, or the public community, excuse me, and it's indexed by Google, then what happens is you pump that full of good keywords for the type of things people will be searching for that are your ideal clients. And that way, if your stuff comes up, then they see that and they see that content, and then it gives them an opportunity to click on other things in your website, to subscribe to whatever. And the content you have in the public thing can be, hey, don't forget to subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You can use that for marketing for sure.
Yeah, and you can see here it says public community. So if we had a private community, it would show in here, but the content would be locked in, right? So let's go on to the third level. That's a secret community. Now that's not viewable at all by anybody outside of you inviting them in. So think of the secret community like a VIP area, right? Now, how do you get people to get access to a community, right? There's a few ways. One is you've got a course, so it could be a free course, and in that course, a part of the pricing plan, you can set up to let them have access to a private community, right, or a secret community. Right, so let's go beyond that, because there's also another type of community, Tim, to confuse you even more, and that is if you have a course set up, you can set up a course discussion. Now that will automatically create a community in your community site, but it will only be for the people that are in that course. So my suggestion to you, Tim, is set up a course, lay it all out nicely. I don't know if you're going to charge for it or not, or let people in, and then set up a discussion lesson type that will automatically create the community for those members inside the community area. So you can then if you want to, you can only put that in there. You could put extra content into the course access page if you want to, but it would be a really good place to share things. So I say to people, like, if you set that kind of thing up, you can then from the community put a link to the course access page because they're already part of it. And you could say, download the PDF I've done for you this week, or have a look at the video I've done for you this week, because straight away they're part of it. So they'll be able to jump like freely between the two, and nobody else will be able to get in there apart from people that have gone through the checkout for that course, whether it's free or whether it's, a subscription or whether it's a one-time payment. It's really up to you. But that's what I would suggest. Test it out as well, Tim. Does that
Yeah.
help you?
So yeah. So let me just, if I can, just make sure I've got you. I've got you. So there's. I can either do it through the price plan where I've seen already how I can add in a community there, or I could create some content in the curriculum and just check at the bottom, I think, of each lesson it says add a discussion. Because that was the two ways, wasn't it, to create a community. Now, can I just also just check this through? Because what can sometimes be a bit difficult is that when you do it as an admin and then to see it as a user is it's a step. Well, I did get somebody's helping me at the moment, so I did get him to be a user, and we shared screens and we looked at what was happening. It seemed quite good. Now, what I've done is I've created an automation to go out when they join a course, which is actually just at the moment, it's just like a giveaway of some like lead magnets.
So it's a free course that they're doing.
So yeah, I hadn't actually thought that there would be any curriculum. I hadn't thought that. I'm just using the course as a way. Actually, let me correct myself. It's at the end of a funnel, so it's got a small charge. They get some freebies, and they'll get access to one of the freebies, if you like, or they get some materials, and one of the things is they get access to the forum. What I did was I created because I do want this like these like three different little I think they're communities actually, three little discussions. One is introduce yourself, one is have you kept your habit today, and the other one is share gains. There's three things. So I set up an email to go out to them automatically from the automations for that course. And it seemed to work today that although on the landing page, sorry, on the price plan, they're only being added to one community, which is the welcome one. It seemed to work that they got to see all of the three different ones I'd set up. And I just want to check that I'm thinking this through straight, and then that is the actual, that would actually happen. So they got an email with a hot link, hyperlink to three discussions. It seemed like even when they just came through to the first one, that they could access all three.
Yes, because they're all part of the same course, right? So like David said, when you add a discussion, even though the hyperlink took them to the one, the other two are right there in front of them listed underneath it. So all they had to do was click down to them.
Right. I don't understand how they're connected, actually. I don't see how they're really connected to the
Because
course,
it's
but
in
if
the
you're telling
same
me they are,
course.
that's great. I
If you set them up through the course discussion,
well, I set up the welcome one as the one that's on the price plan. Um, it's sort of welcome, please introduce yourself, that one. Um, but when actually I got the somebody as a member to click to sort of to subscribe to that course, that freebie thing, that low, that sort of low cost offer there, that one time offer, they actually they got to see the three different communities. So which sounds helpful. It sounds good.
those communities are all assigned to the same course.
I don't understand how they're assigned to the course. I don't understand how they're connected to that, because I've just gone into the community section. I've created three communities.
In the
I
community section, so they're
I
not
don't
all.
remember having assigned them to any course or anything like that. But
Right, I want to clear something up, right?
Yeah.
So if someone's registered on your site, they can, because they've registered, they're going to get instant access to the public community, right?
right,
So they've got in there that way. However, when you set up a discussion inside of a course, even if you set up you've got 100 lessons in there and you've hit the discussion on 100 lessons, it will only set up one community for the course, right?
I see.
So it won't
Yeah.
set up multiple. So you need to look at what you're doing, because you maybe under the pricing plan, you've got it connected to a community. So they're seeing it there. You've got the discussion turned on in the lesson, and you've got two public communities, in which
No,
case they would get access to four.
no. So
So
I see. I see so let me tell you that when I was in the community today. By the way, I hope I'm not taking too much time here, but when I was in the community today, I could see the three new ones that I'd created, which was great. And I could see two earlier courses where I had done what you'd said there, David, and I'd checked on the bottom of a lesson that there would be a community. So, and then the other guy who came in just as a result of the offer, he could only see the three new ones. So that seemed to work. Can I ask you this then? Is your understanding? So these to my mind, actually, I don't know whether they're private or public at this point. These
Just
communities. I can't,
go into your community, and
yeah.
it should tell the list, and it should tell you which ones are public, which ones are private.
All right.
yeah,
All right.
you'll be able to see that. Let me just do a quick
Yeah.
screen share so it's really
Yeah.
clear what's going on. So
Yeah.
if you look at this one here, this is a public community. You can see it says
Yeah.
public community. It automatically, when you set up course discussions, remember, it creates that community. So what you're going to see here
Yeah.
is it says course discussions. By the way, you can rename that. You can edit the category.
Yeah.
But this is here. So what I've done is, you're seeing here, I've got this course. And
Yeah.
in this course, this is coping with life stresses work journal. So if we look at this, meditation for coping with stress and life journal, yeah, it's the same. But inside here, we've got a discussion turned on here. If I come into this one here, Where did I put it? We've got discussion turned on there and there, but it's only created the one community, right?
Right. Yeah, that makes
Which is
sense.
there.
Yeah.
But if we
Yeah.
look at that community is a secret community. It's the highest level of security, right?
Okay.
So no one outside of the course will be able to get into that unless
Okay.
you like you can manually add them, of course, but you'd need to add them to the course for them to get in there. So you can see there's another one called community here. Now this is a community that's in the course itself is just called community, and it that I did that for a reason. I called it, there it is there. You can see it there, right? And I called it community because I was showing at the time how you could just run people through a course and just use a community. Right, there's nothing else in there. It's just a community. So if we go into this, for instance, remember I'm talking about this one now, right? So if we go into that and we have a look at the pages in here, you go through the sales process. The big page that you want interested in is the course access page. And look, all I've got in there is a big button that says go to your paid community, right? Because I was showing it was charged, but it could be free. I've deleted out the curriculum block and everything else, right? But inside the curriculum block is a discussion. So if I go into the curriculum block here, you're going to see, look, I've got one untitled lesson and discussions are enabled. But I've turned it off the course access page. So it just gives you this big, big button that when you click it, you go through to the community here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So so when you run it through a course that way, like even that's what Patricia was saying in the comments, that means that you can then charge just for a private community. So just
That's
like
why
think,
that's why I did that, Alice. That
yes,
was I did a
exactly.
workshop showing because people were saying, how
Yeah.
can I just charge for a community
Yep.
but not have any lesson types in there? They said, well, you can just delete the stuff out. But what I'm saying to you, Tim, is this is really, really flexible because in
Yeah.
that course access page where I've got the big button, I could put extra content in there. I could re-enable the lessons in there and
Hmm.
put content in there. So you can build with this stuff. So if you've got like 1 week you're giving someone a PDF, you could put it into the lesson. Next week you could turn it off. So it's
Yeah.
really adaptable.
Right. Yeah. No, it sounds potentially good. That. Yeah. A couple of just follow-ups. One is when I created my links to the different communities. Once they'd logged in, they just came to the homepage, I think. But could I give them a link that would take them all the way to the actual community, do you think? Or is that tricky? Or they seem to just I think that although I thought I was putting in the link that was the link for the community, it seemed that they just came to ab.didu.se, which is the basic homepage of the Zenler site.
Right. So you're talking about people that have registered, yeah, for the course that are part
Yeah,
of the
so
community.
that's right. So
They've
they've registered and they've been now sent an automation with here are the three discussions that you can join. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So in that link, you can send them to the communities to grab the community URLs. If
Right.
they're not logged in, they'll log in and then they'll be redirected to whatever link you sent them to, right?
Okay.
So
Maybe that was just
you could do that in the automations, Tim. So like here, for instance, like this is the feed URL. Okay.
yeah,
So if I go to this one, you're going to see the URL change here. This is the URL I use for that one. Yeah.
right. I
If
can
I
actually use those actual URLs, can't I?
Absolutely, you don't even
Yeah.
have to use the invite there. You can use these this is what I prefer. There's the invite link, but I just use the URLs. It works the same way. If I go to this one, there's another one here. However, if I sent this out to people that were in this course, they wouldn't get access to it. They would just be like, because they're not part of it, right? So even if they
Yes.
logged in, it would just be back and forwards. So you could, if you wanted to, for logged in members, you could set up a different homepage. So on the site, if you go to homepages, you can have a different site for logged out and logged in users. So you could even send them to the course pages in here. So when they go into the course, this one in particular, this one here, then when they go into that course, they will then find that big button that says community, right? Or you can set up a completely different page that just says, if you're a member of my site, you'll be able to log into your community here, and then they can go straight and log in if they're logged in, right?
Okay. Okay. Simple. Tell me when to stop. Simple, quick question about the communities itself. Featured pages, pinned content. Um, we were just when we put in a new message, it did seem to move the pinned content down. But I guess that reset? Does the pinned content go back to the top when you next log in? I wondered because
No,
pinned.
no. So just like Facebook, if
Yeah.
you pin something to featured, it remains at the front, right? Until you delete it out or move it around. And every time you add a new one, it will get pushed along, right? That's how it works. So it doesn't
The, the
it's
pinned gets
not
pushed.
it's kind of basic the way it works. Because you just
Yeah.
have that featured content. So you've got it in, hold on, hold on a
Because in
second.
the, if I remember rightly, in the feed, the featured stayed at the top, but in the community, in the discussions, it seemed like when somebody went in and wrote a comment, that it started to get pushed down.
Of course, yeah, because that's the feed, right? So people are putting new content in and it's going down, but actually in the box at the top, that stays where it is. Just like Facebook, Tim. Exactly the same as Facebook. It remains at the top as that pinned feature. So I'll give it, look, I could quickly show you and then we'll get on to Dan. He's been waiting really patiently. Right. Okay. So here we go. This is a live community. This is our Zenler one here. You can see that I have featured in here. And if I go in and I pin this to featured, then it will not do anything at the moment. Probably I think I've buggered it up. Hold on. Oh, why is my featured not working? All right. Maybe there's something going on. But it should appear in here. I'm not sure why it's
Probably it's at
not.
the top of the feed now.
No, there's a box that should be appearing here, and for some reason it's disappeared. I'm not sure why. I need to check. Oh, here it is. Look. So featured post. Here it is here and here. Right? So if I put something else in as featured, like this one here, it will jump to the front of the queue. So it would jump to here. Yeah. And if you
Yeah.
go under here, it will then do it in order. But if people post and that's what you want, then they're going to appear in here under here. So it's all going to get knocked down. But this is not the featured block. The featured block is here at the top, right?
Yeah, it's just that I thought what I saw happen today was that when we put in a comment or a new post, that the featured the pin post was moved down, and then I just wondered, oh, well, when new people come in, will they see those like community guideline things that I pinned to the top, or are they going to disappear down the feed?
No, they will. That's the thing. We haven't got. You can add. You could add a link here going to your community guidelines, but there isn't. When you actually come in and sign up, you might have asked them questions or shown them your community guidelines, just like Facebook does. It doesn't normally put them right at the front in here. I mean,
No.
we have community guidelines on this site, and it's down in the featured. So if you want it to be put back up, you could run down your featured and you can unpublish it and then republish it again, right? So yeah, so that's how it works really.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll I'll have a play around with it. Yeah. Thank you.
Have a play,
Thanks.
Tim. Good to speak to you. Hopefully
Thank
I've
you.
helped you.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks, Tim.
Okay, we got
Okay,
Dan.
Dan.
Dan's up.
Dan.
Hi, thank you. Hey,
Hi, Dan.
Hi, how you doing? Appreciate all the questions from you, Tim. This has actually given me a lot of ideas and helped me sort out what I want to do. I have a community question. So I teach English as a second language online. And by the way, I started transitioning my first one-to-one student onto Zenler after working with him um, one-on-one for over 2 years. And it's just I mean, I'm feeling the energy there. It's amazing. It's really great, you know. So
Oh,
about the communities, my first product will really be a group twice weekly conversation club for advanced students, and they just come in for 45 minutes and they do a fun speaking activity. They get a little feedback from me, and that's it. It's a subscription based deal. And I do want to have a secret community for those students. And now I'm sort of facing this general issue of community standards. I've been writing my terms and conditions, and I feel like I need to say something, by clicking here, you're agreeing to the following. So there's one poll of this where you act like the word police and say all kinds of scary things. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, or I'll kick you out. And then there's the other pole of it, which is they're not even being invited into it until we've at least had a couple of sessions and we start to build some sort of human relationship, okay? Because that's what drives these courses for me is a learning community. So I can say something there and go, hey, you can go in now and talk to each other, practice with each other. There's going to be a discussion every week. So what is your general advice about this? What would you put in your terms of service about here are my expectations for you when you participate in our community? And I'll just leave it there. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, you're right. You could go one way or the other way. And what you could do is both. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could put, to cover yourself for community standards, you put all the mumbo jumbo in there, right? But above that, what you can do is you can say, hey, really, everybody in this, you can make a blurb. Hey, everybody in this community's been vetted. I don't think that any of you are going to do any of the things that I've listed here. I wouldn't have invited you to this community. However, I want to be clear that we do have standards and just be respectful, blah, blah, blah. And then you can list here's the official wording of what that means. But basically what I'm saying is, just be good to each other and don't be,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So I
be
mean, in
good.
my terms of service, I could put a paragraph of word police. But like you
Yeah.
say, I mean, there's also moderation, right, in the community where I can go in at any time and I can tell it to,
Yeah.
I can have to authorize posts, right? I mean, I am just beginning my learning here, but in a sense, that takes over some of that function, I think. But
yeah. What we're looking at here is, Dan, we're looking at a course discussion community, right? So in here, for instance, you have this on the, because this is course discussion, they've come through a course. And I
hmm
think in your case, that's probably what you're doing anyway. You're building people in a course. So
yes.
it makes sense that you will have your community guidelines as part of one of the lessons or maybe
Mm,
in the course access page. So it's
right.
always visible, always there, and you can always reference it. So to require post approval, you can obviously turn it on in here. So people
hmm
can't post until you give the go ahead in any case, right?
Yeah.
Or if you want a little bit kind of, you don't want it as a community, you can add it into the pricing plan. You could go and create an extra community and you could create a private community here or a secret community in here. And this will give you access to a few more things that you can do in here. So you can go in and who can post anyone, only admins, again, you can select that, but you can have members count on and off. There's a few extra things that you can do in these, which is good. So let me just put in
I'm
here.
sorry, private versus secret is. You're
Well, the
saying,
private will show front end, but no one will get access until you let them, really.
right,
So
right.
with the secret, it doesn't really show. It doesn't
I
really
see.
show
It,
front end.
Okay.
So require post approval. So if you wanted to really lock this down, you would put that who can post, only admins or
Hmm.
anyone, but
Yeah.
you're approving anyway. So when I said only admins, it means that's the only people that can post.
right.
So invite, only admins can invite.
Hmm.
You got that, and that's by default because it's a secret course, right? So only
Yeah.
admins can create polls and these things. And if I click continue, that will then create that secret. So if you do private, this means people can see it. So there's another level of control. So if I go into create this as private there, sorry, no, globally, you can go
Mm.
into the settings here and you can require member approval. So this will stop anyone coming into it until you think they're ready to.
Yeah. I like what you said before, though, about, making the community a premium. Like they can start coming into sessions and they see that there's a community they can get access to
Yeah,
at
Dan.
a
I
point,
think
and it also seems to me that you can do moderation temporarily, almost like training until you feel like they get it, what they can do and not do. And yeah, I like the curriculum thing, but let me ask you a quick question. If I have a intro sort of like, here's what we do in this community, little video of me explaining it, is there some way I can require in the site that they watch that before they can even go further? I don't know if that's good, but
If you do it in a if you do it in a course, then yes, you can, because
okay.
you can put lesson one is required before it moves
Yeah,
on to lesson two. And lesson
yeah,
two is where it opens up where the discussion's at,
yeah.
enable discussion in that one. And then when they sign up for the course, does that
Okay.
make sense? You can do that in a
Yeah,
lesson.
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And yeah,
I think Dan with like forcing people to watch videos. I mean that often people do that to try and get you run through, but people they take skips, they just skip to the end of the video and then bang, they
yeah,
pass.
yeah, yeah. Right,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't really, if someone's going to, I mean, if you're teaching something and you've got important information and someone doesn't look at it, you can't
yeah.
really stop them, right?
No, no,
Um,
no.
if it's graded and they're only going to pass if they answer certain questions, then it's their fault and they're not going to get a certificate or you're not going to qualify them. That's fair enough, right?
Yeah, well,
So
in teaching adults, and you see this in colleges sometimes, they infantilize people. And actually, my experience with adult ESL students is they're grown up, they've got tremendous experience, they respond to respect and trust more than anything. It's
Right.
just you get some occasional person who starts hitting on people and this nonsense.
Right.
But the
yeah,
Well,
public
one
just,
of the things
yeah,
Yeah, one of the things I would say is that if you have a video, if you have information that you would like for your students to know and you want them to watch it, then create that content in multiple forms because some people prefer video, some people don't. So
hmm
do a written statement somewhere, even on your website, because people will look around. But if
yeah,
you have a certain, for example, like just a certain sort of style or something that's important that you want your students to really be aware of and be thinking about, you just have to kind of find different ways to talk about that thing and post about that thing and have that thing make a post community about that thing, do a little video about create a
yeah,
yeah, there's always ways around it, Dan. Like, for instance, if I wanted
yeah,
to force someone to force, it sounds really bad. They're buying into you because they want to learn something. So if I want someone to actually understand a video I've done, then I might think about it in a different way. So if I've got important information in a video and I want someone to make sure they understand it, maybe I do a video and then straight after, okay, you've watched this video, haven't you? Answer this quiz.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
And that way they'll be like, oh no, I didn't watch the video, and then they'll go and watch the video, and then they'll be able to answer the quiz. And if it's graded, you're not going to let them on until they hit maybe 90%, or if you're me, 98% before I let them through, right? And then
Yeah,
you can
no.
let them go to the next lesson. So there's always ways to do it. And what I like to say to people is plan it out, right? So you don't even have to use Zenler to do that. You can have a piece of paper. You just look, what do you want to happen? Where do you want these certain things to come into effect? Where do you want the terms and policies to apply to those people? Where do you want them to read it? Where do you want them to go, and what do you want them to watch, and what do they need to do next? And if you just draw that out on a bit of paper, you can easily make that work with Zenler.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think what Ali just said about multimodal is actually a very important sort of
Yeah.
foundational idea in education. And I often do that. You'll have the lecture as a video and a transcript
Yep.
and a podcast. But okay, so uh, one last thing is the public community. Are you saying that if somebody creates an account on my website, just do that? They just do that. They now have I can set it so they have access to just a general public community where they can throw questions in and I can meet them. And that's,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, they can. Well, there's right. There's a big downside to that, right?
Yeah.
Because and I've mentioned it, right? Rakesh won't be shocked for if he was in here now to hear me say this. I think that it I think it's wrong. I think it's
Mm,
wrong that someone can join a public community on your site and then become the role of student,
mm,
because and for me it's all about control over what goes on in my site. I really only want student roles to be people that have bought from me, right? Or that
yeah.
I've given into a free course. But if they come in through a community, I don't believe that by registering they should have the role of student. I reckon they should have the role of community, and they should have access to the community but not to logged in pages on the site. So what I do, and I've done a video on this, Dan, is I completely lock the site down. So I lock it so that people have to come through a course to get access to the public community, because at that point I can filter them. I can
Mm,
say, like, if I've got people coming in and I've got students and people in courses, yeah, I can filter them, but it's a pain. I
yeah.
want to be able to just say, right, who are the people that haven't bought from me?
Yeah.
And I can do that if I'm tagging them coming through a course. So I only send people through a course. So that you've got to, if you hit the login button on the login page, it's actually a lead magnet, or it redirects to a free course or free course community, right? So they
Okay.
come in through the community. That way, everyone, that's why you saw that site where I just had community, right? And I had a big button on there. That's like I'm locking people. So I know the people that have bought from me easily. And I know the people that have just come in because they want to be part of a community. Because there will be people that come in that are just trying to look for work, looking for freebies. And yeah, you don't really want those people around. And if you haven't warmed them up and they haven't bought anything in like 2 months, they're probably never going to. And they're just
Yeah.
hanging around. So I like
Yeah.
to better filter them out and remove them.
Okay. I didn't
And the
realize
really
that
nice thing about
there's,
and the
yeah, go
really
ahead.
nice thing about what David is saying too with having them register through a course, you can now use course to give them more information about what you do and who you are, educate them around the things that you do. So it's an even stronger magnet where you can put information into that course to get them a buyer. You can put links to other paid courses and programs in the course lessons and say, hey, if this is something you're interested in, click here to book with me. Right. So you can do that in that course, along with the fact that you now have a community that's open to the public, which also indexes search engines. So you can put in those keywords again in the content in that community so that it will show up in the public. But then when people go, the only way for them to get into that community, as David said, is that you lock it down and they can only get in if they register for that course. And
Okay.
then
Well,
those are stronger leads for you too.
yeah. Okay. So you're saying, yeah, people have to have bought something to even be considered for a public community. I tend to agree with that. I mean,
Well,
we're all spending a lot.
the course can be free. You don't have to charge for the course. But at least
Oh,
then, like David said, you can filter that free course people from
uh-huh.
the people that have bought from you. And then you can send marketing emails to the free people, get them to buy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. I know a lot of people need to speak here, so I'll just
Yeah, we're gonna rattle through them. Good to speak to you, Dan. Right, I
thank
think
you.
Okay.
we've got
Thanks.
Roxanne. Roxanne, quickly. We've got Lyric. Hi,
Yes.
Lyric.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
I'm a new Zenler person, and Lyric was the one who turned me on to this place. So yeah, I'm just astonished at how many different ways you can do, everything.
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
know.
already got, just listening to everybody else, I've got a lot of ideas. But my main concern today is I have just migrated all my courses from Thinkific to New Zenler. And I have people, let's say in any given course, who have not yet completed the course. And so I need to import the users from the old platform via a CSV file. And I'm finding that difficult to do. Like I'm saying that it's saying the import was successful, and I've tagged those students in that particular course. So when I apply that filter, they're still not showing up as students in that course on New Zenler. So I don't know if I need to wait a while and then recheck it, or
Yeah, when did you do it, Roxanne?
yesterday. I tried it a couple times yesterday. I haven't checked it yet today, but
Check it today. Make sure that you refresh your browser as well, yeah? So
okay.
hit F5 on the keyboard a few times. If they're not coming in, please send a message to support at Zenler and they will
Okay.
help you. They will probably ask for your CSV format
Yeah.
and they might say, I don't know how many people you got on the list. Is it thousands?
No, no. And I actually did manage to do all that with my email list. So I imported like 1,600 people successfully
Yeah.
but I had to go through support. They had to show me the format file, and then I had to edit my CSV because my CSV didn't match up with your CSV format. And I didn't know
Yeah.
any of that going into it. So that got in. But now that I'm trying to do smaller groups into the course, I don't know if my CSV file isn't formatted right again, and I just need to go through it with a fine tooth comb. I
Right, so you're let me just a screen share. It's quite a quick one, but I would
okay.
say just go to support, they will help you, right? But you have to because like remember, like if you've got name, if you've got email, if you've got tag one, if you've and tag one represents a phone number, let's say, and you bring it into a system, then it's very unlikely that system to system are going to be identical, right? So
Yeah.
what you do is you do what's mapping fields. So you map one field against another field. So tag one, for instance, would equal in Zenler phone number, and you map those up. And as long as they all tie up, then it will bring in beautifully. But sometimes there's extra fields in some software, right?
Yeah.
So you might disregard some of those fields if you don't need them. But
Okay.
if we show you here, like this is just a list, this is a dummy list here. And if
Okay.
we go to import users, it will give you the sample there. You've probably already done this. So
Yeah.
this is the sample that we follow. So I suggest download this, upload it to something like your Google Drive, open it up, open your list from Thinkific and start dragging and dropping from one to the other in the correct fields. Then export it back out as a CSV file and upload it to Zenler. And that'll be a good way to do it. And obviously, you're bringing them as students, and on the action, you're enrolling them in the course, which is easy
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll try it again. Thank you.
Try again or ask Lyric.
Oh, I don't want to bother her. Her plate is full.
She's mega helpful. She's okay.
Thank you.
Right. We got Lyric up. Lyric up. Sorry, I've got Lyric. Lyric. Oh,
Hi.
is it Mariam next? Who is it? Oh, Mariam. Mariam next. Sorry, the order dropped. Hello.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you.
My my question is also about partly community, but I was thinking of using the blog as part of getting people into the community. So I need you to, or I would like you to help me see how I can change the blog format, the template.
All right. So
Because
you want to just,
I don't see how I can do that.
oh, right. Oh, okay. Shall I do this one, Alice?
Go ahead. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite ninja tricks of yours is doing the blog stuff. So go for it, David.
Right. Let me just get my page up. So I've got the community. Right. Okay. There. So I'm not going to go elaborate and do really fancy designs or anything, but I'll just show
I
you
just
the
need to know
basics.
how to get the
Yeah.
blocks in. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I'm on my blog, right? I'm in my dashboard. So you create your new blogs here. That's all good.
Mm,
But to manage the blogs, there's two templates. One
mm,
actually shows the blog masonry grid, right? When I say it's a short, it's a kind of word for a kind of all the blogs, right? Call it masonry grid
mm.
or the layout. So this is one template, right? So this is template. So when you go into any of the blogs, this is another template. So both of these two templates in the blog area can be customized. And this is where you can put things like this at the bottom, right?
Right.
So, and if I go back to this one, you're going to notice down here, I've put the same block in here, but I could
Yeah.
put a different block. So where you find that is
Yeah.
in here, settings. So if I click
Right.
settings, you're going to see here, I
Yeah.
completely replaced the top, so I don't use any of that stuff at all. You're going to
Exactly.
see homepage. That's the masonry page, Mariam.
Oh.
That's the post page. So that's each post. So as long as you don't delete out the middle content, it'll all be good. So all I do here is I edit page. I'll do it live in front of you. So if I want to, I'm opening this page. I have to slow down a little bit. Alice, tell me to slow down if I'm going too fast.
Yeah.
Right.
You're doing
So
just
right. So it does use the page builder. So this is very cool. So if we go in here and we go empty block and I drag a block in here and then I go quickly and I drop in a 2 column and I
Hey,
go
I'm
in
here.
here and I drag. So I'm going quick, but don't worry about this. It's all right. Then I drag this in here and now I put something like a button in here. When that button, I can go and say, go to my community like
Mm,
that. Okay.
mm,
So not doing anything fancy. I'm going to change the color here just to make it look a little
mm.
bit better, right? Something like that. So very basic. So now all I need to do is go and find the URL of my community. So if we go and say, right, that's going to be the public community. I'm going to take that URL. Yeah. I'm going to
Mm.
go back to my blog, go to the button, click in there, click and add, choose action, go to link and drop that in there. And I probably, because they're in the blog, I'm going to open them up in a new tab because I
Right.
don't want them to lose from the blog page, right? They're on there reading it, but they go, oh, that's interesting. I might join that community, click it. And if they
Mm,
go, if it replaces the page, then they might
mm.
be annoyed and they might not realize to press the back arrow on the browser.
Yeah.
So you haven't lost them. And that also means it's good for SEO because they're staying longer on your site, right?
Right.
So once you've got that in place on that page, um, and like I said, this is very basic, I'm going to save it. Now we'll have a
Okay.
look at what we get. So
Yeah.
let's go into this now here. Now, remember, I added it to the post page. I can add it to this page as well. So if I go into any of my blog post pages now, what you're going to find down the bottom is this. So if I click that, it's going to take me to my community and in the right community area, Mariam.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Yeah. So you've got those two choices. You can go into there, the home page, which is the masonry page, or the
Yeah.
individual blogs. So every blog that I've got will have these blocks at the bottom now because they're in the set template. We don't delete this area out. This is what pulls the copy in for each of the posts.
This is what? Sorry.
It pulls the copying for each of the posts. So if you were
Okay.
to delete this out, there would be
Yeah.
no blogs,
Okay. Okay.
right? So you can change the color a little bit if you wanted to, but that's how to do it. So if you wanted to,
Perfect.
if you did it, if you spent time and you created a lovely block like this, you might want to save it, and then you can
Mm,
just drop it into the other template page as well.
yeah. Yeah. Really good.
Is that
So
okay?
that was beautiful. So just to sum up from what you've said to the other participants here is also that you recommend people going through a course in order to get into the community, also because that's where you have control over the content, right? That they can access, because you can't put content directly into the community. Am I getting it right?
Well, it depends on your purpose, doesn't it? If you want people to join your public community, because well, we said at the beginning, the great thing about a public, everybody should have a public community, right? Just
Mm,
because it gets searched, it gets indexed. You need to
mm,
maintain a community, but it's the one thing that gets pushed out onto the SEO pages, right? Onto Google, onto
mm,
Bing. And it's the main reason that we want to have that. So I think everybody should have a public community. But if you want to keep that content private or only for people that are logged in, then you might want to add
mm,
them to a private community. If you want them only to log in if they're part of a course, then you'll use a course discussion. But if your blog, if people go to your blog and they click go to my community and it goes to a course discussion community and they haven't bought into it, then they're not
yeah,
going to get into it. So it's all
exactly.
about privilege levels, and you've got to work out that what that's going to be for your business.
And the user experience as well. Like you've already got a blog and they're on a page, and then it takes them to a core sales page instead of a community. So you just have to think
Yeah,
about the user experience as well. But
yeah,
the course, and let's be clear, the course, you don't necessarily have to have a paid course. It can be a free course, but that
right.
way they're a student in a course. And like David said, you can filter those people out if they haven't made a purchase of another course.
Yeah,
Like if you have a ton of free courses, then you're going to struggle. But if you use one free
that's
course
part of it.
to bring people in, then you can manage it, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, it was more on the content side that I did the vice versa. I started with starting a community without having created a course, and then I thought I could put content into the community, and I realized that's very limited what I can do if I understand it correctly. So I should have a course page that is connected to that community
Yeah.
to keep control over the content if I get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you're driving them as long as they're part of that community. This is why I say it's so important to plan. Now, look, I know it's really hard, right? Because we didn't have communities at one stage, and some of you are like quite old users. You've been using it, and then you've got all your systems in place, and then suddenly Zenler goes and drops a bomb by adding communities, and you're like, how do I get this to work with all my users, right? From the old system. So sometimes you have to kind of work out how it's going to work for you. And
Yeah.
sometimes that might involve exporting users, bringing them back in and bringing them into the community. But this is what I'm saying to you. These are kind of quite technical hurdles to get over if you're not used to doing this stuff. So I always say to you, reach out to support at Zenler. They will help you do those
Mm.
things. You just need to tell them exactly what you need to achieve, give them all the information they need, and they will help you with it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's all about having the meta perspective before you go in and say, what do I really want to do with this? So yeah, back to
Yeah,
planning.
planning.
Thank
Good to
you.
see
Thank you
you,
so much.
Marianne.
Appreciate it.
So,
Thank you, Marianne.
Lyric, who's next? Is it Julia or you?
I think it's me. And it might be. So I have a new course running and I've just turned on communities for the first time. And I get an email when a student comments and asks a question. I'm getting a lot of questions. And then I can't get to the comment or question. I can't find it. I click on it. The only way I've been able to find my student comments and questions is to go into admin, go into a preview, go into the course as a student and find them. I feel like there should be a way when I click on the email, they'll take me right to the comment, right? What am I missing? Is there an easy tutorial somewhere?
No, I mean, I maintain the I think I kind of agree with you. You know, there's things that can be better. We said this at the beginning with like the way some of the things work, you know, these can be fine-tuned and made better. But I don't have a problem my side. Like I look after our tutorial site, our tutorial community. So whenever a post comes in there, I just go into the community and I go to manage. Lots of the time, I do it on my phone, right?
I can't get
Web,
to it at all on my phone.
well, why
I don't
not?
know what I'm doing wrong.
You logged in as admin
Yeah.
on the phone, and you can get in the course. Can you not see community come up when you go into the app?
Uh, most of the time, no. Or I look at the notification bell, click that, and then if I click that, it disappears, and the comment disappears because I read it and just
So I got
like I should know how to do this. It's
yeah,
not
there.
working.
You know, that's our community. That's our public community on Zenler, right? The tutorial site. So
Yep.
you're going to find that in the top left, you can click it and it will drop down and it will show this. Let's see if that's clear. Can you see that?
Yep. Yeah.
And where it says manage, if you click manage, it's going to open up approvals. So you'll then, I have got none because I've answered them all today. So you're going to see then it says approvals there. See that?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see them in there and you can click and you can approve them coming in and then you can answer them while they're coming in there. So I find it really quick to do that. I turn notifications off, right? Because it's tinging all the time and it's annoying. So I turn it off. But if I had it turned on, I get the little alerts come up like you. And then I just like wait for 5 and then I just go in and answer them. But the other way to do it is to do it from the actual from a desktop, which is the easiest way of doing it because it's nice and clear, and it also means I can share it with you guys. So let me just share it in here. So if I've got my public community, if I come into manage here, then you're going to see that I've got pending approvals here. So any communities, I can filter them on which community. So if I've got hundreds, this is why I said keep it simple, right? Some people go a little bit crazy with their communities. They might have 20. Remember, you've got to manage this stuff. So if I went to there, it would just give me the posts that are coming and I would just answer them in here, or I'd approve them and then I can go and answer them. So once they're approved, I just go to my site, to my membership, to my public community. And then all I do is I just ripple through them and I just answer them as they come in. So,
Yeah.
you know, and
So
that's how
Zenler does not yet have a way that when I get, because email notifications are usually easiest for me to answer from, where I can click and without another 10 clicks and going to other places to find.
Yeah, well, it's 2 clicks, isn't it? It's managed and approved. But I get what you mean. No, at the moment, because that would mean that you would I don't know how that works with because it would have to send you back the reply email. You would then answer, and then you are hoping that it will automatically appear on the post. So that would be the ideal situation, wouldn't it? So no is my answer to you, but it's a nice one. But we are working now with a lot of automations, with a lot of AI agents and things. So maybe it's going to be easier to get those AI agents to handle this side of things and maybe send stuff across to you. Then you can send it back and it reflects back on there. I don't know. But it's a good question. But currently, that's how I do it. That's the only way of doing it.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
It's all right, Lyric. And we have Julia. Thanks for waiting so long.
Hi,
No
Julia.
worries. I have a very practical question. Today, I realized that there is a way for invoices, so students can ask for their own invoice every time they do the payment. But I wonder if I myself can get a sort of, well, it's not like an invoice, but like a paper that I can download from all the courses and all the sales that I have done in a month.
You
Is
can
there
go into your reports. You have a report section on Zenler that you're able to get all your reports. I can't show I could show you on my site, but I'm not going to. You can go into your reports on your site. So you can't get their account details or anything, but you have reports here. So you can go into sales and you can filter the sales for this month, date range. And then once you run the report, you can then download that as a file. So that's the area that you want to look at there, Julia.
Okay, where do you go to reports?
Yep,
Oh,
reports is
there.
there.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
just
it.
there. That's the main area. And just go across to sales. So if you didn't know about this area, definitely have a look around because you've
Oh
got a lot
yeah,
of different.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You also
Yeah.
get your quizzes and survey results in here as well. If you've got any quizzes or surveys set up, you also, and this is really good that people don't pay a lot of attention to, which is the video analytics. So you can really see which videos are doing well, how many views you've got. This is a test site, of course, and you
Okay.
can see the average time watched, the total time watched in here. So this is really cool for seeing how much activity is going on your site, on your videos. You might find one of your videos is extremely popular and that might sway you to do maybe a video series. So this area is really cool to go and have a look at. You can also see course progress of your students in here and you can run detailed reports. So try and have a play around with that for an hour. It's a really good area and it's a must that you should understand it because it can really help you with what you're creating.
Sure. Yeah, I wasn't very familiar with that section, so thanks for sharing. And there is another question, which I'm not sure whether you will be able to help, or maybe it's something that I will have to ask support. But I have two sites. This is the same site, just one is in English and another one is fully in Spanish, but are same courses, same everything. It's just same content duplicated into different languages. And when I check in one of the sites, the Spanish one, I think it is, I see in one corner of the cover of every single course the amount of money generated from the sales of that particular course. And in the English side, all of them point zero. But like it's not possible when I have had enrollments, and I don't know why it's happening.
I can't. No, that's a support question, isn't it, Ali?
Okay, I will ask that
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Email support at Zenler.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So thank you.
I've got multiple sites, but you see the difference. So something's going on. You need to check with support.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice to speak to you, Julia. So last one up, we've got Susie.
Susie.
Hello.
Hi, Susie. Don't you look
Hi.
festive?
Yeah, I figured I was wearing a toque and I had hat hair, so sad the hat it
Why
is.
not? I love it.
Excellent. So I'm having issues with sending test emails. It just freezes my screen for like a minute or so, and then it won't let me send it.
Right. Sorry, Susie. It's a technical question. We can't help you. If we can't get that problem to happen our end, we can't help you. So
Okay.
technical support need to look into your platform. They need to look through your settings and see what's going on. If this was a common problem and it was happening across the board, then everybody would be going crazy, right? So I'm pretty much sure it's maybe something in the settings that's been messed up in some way, and technical support will be able to go in there and resolve it for you.
Okay, I did send in a something to support, so I just haven't heard back. Figured I'd jump on.
Yeah, that's all right. When did you send it?
Today's Thursday, so probably beginning of the week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a long
Did
time.
you?
Can you send me
video?
did you get a support ticket from them?
I did not.
Oh, maybe they're not receiving, maybe they've
Unless,
sent it. It should be automatic, so it should automatically pop up in your inbox. Please check your spam and junk folder because they might well have sent you a reply and told you what the issue is.
I mean, my email blasts are finally heading to the inbox instead of the junk mail, so that's nice. Okay, that's too far
Yeah,
back.
this is a little note for you guys as well. If you haven't whitelisted on your accounts or added support at Zenler to your safe list, you know, it could go into your junk box and you don't want that to happen. So try and whitelist what's called whitelisting, so that it doesn't get thrown away. Yeah, it doesn't disappear.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't have anything in my junk mail. My email is too new to get junk mail.
Right, can
Well, if
you?
you did not get the automated response, then you definitely need to resend an
There's
email.
Yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem
Yeah.
there. So what I would say to you is there's a way to reach out, guys. You might not know this. Now it's not 24/7, right? But if you go to supportnewzenler.com, let's get them working, Alice. Let's
Let's
get
get
tech
it.
support working.
Let's get them
Right.
going.
Right. So if you go here, right, this is just a little thing. I don't think it's used enough really, so why not? So if you go here, you're going to see down the bottom here that you've got how can you help me? And we do have our developers in here. These are developers. They're not education team members, so they can help you with technical queries. So you can actually use this to ask and it will add a support ticket. So you can go in here and you can message and it will tell when people are around. So you can ask a question in here. It's definitely worth trying, and also send a message to support Zenler as well. That should get you through. Susie, can you send me an email, david@zenler.com, yeah? And put down the trouble you're having, but and the email that you've used to send to support, because I'll chase it for you, because you shouldn't have been waiting a whole week for this to get delivered to you. Right? They're
Okay.
normally 24 hours max. So that's well over time.
Yeah,
Send
I've
me a
usually got
mail.
great support, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but they are quite busy guys, but maybe it slipped through the net, Susie. So let's just get this
Yeah.
sorted.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right. I think we're done, are we? You all happy? Patricia, you've not got any questions today. You've not got any questions. Oh, okay. You're just hanging out with us.
I have a question. It was about the community, but you have already answered it.
Oh, fantastic. All right, good to
Love
see
it
you.
when that happens.
Right, Julia's got her hand
love
up
your
one more time.
glasses. I love your glasses, Patricia.
Yeah, I just went to the report and I was trying to export the sales report of the previous months, but they only allow me to export on an Excel file. Is it not a way to export it on a PDF?
As a PDF?
No.
No, but I mean, the standard for reports and any kind of data is Excel or spreadsheets, right? But all you can do is you just throw it onto your Google Drive, open it up, save as PDF.
Okay.
Simple.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, I could export on the Excel and then from Excel save it as a PDF. I just wonder whether Zenler will give you the option to create a sales report with all the income from each course and the name of the students for each course, something super detailed, but it seems like that's not happening, but it's okay.
No, it gives you your sales report, but it doesn't. There's like, you know, it's one of those things, right? It's like it does it in a format that's used for accounting and these things. That's why you've got it as Excel. But like to have combining things like how far they are in a course and all this stuff, you know, you could go on and on and on and on. So it gives you the data that you need, hopefully, Julia.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, thank you.
Fabulous. All right, I think we're going to wrap up today. So expect Ali might be running this on her own next week. Are you up for the challenge, Ali?
Of course I am, David. Of course I am.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'll have a little shadow, right? But Ali's catching up on all the stuff that's been going on the platform. So, and getting your
Yep.
camera sorted out and all of these sort of things. So she's
Yep.
going to be firing. But it's really good to see you again. Good to see all you guys. Thank you so much.
Great to see
See you
you.
later.
Have a
Bye.
great day.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.